Ladies and gentlemen, morning to evening routine is not just the schedule, it is the poetry of our daily life. It is the rhythm that shapes us, a melody that weaves purpose into the hours of the day, from the gentle dawn that whispers promises of new beginnings, to the quiet dusk that wraps us in reflection. Every moment holds the potential to transform our lives. Start the day with gratitude and intention, because it is the foundation of everything else that follows. When the world is still cloaked in the hush of early morning, there is a certain magic in those first moments. I open my eyes slowly, not because I am in a rush, but because I want to savor the beginning of something new. My first thought is not about my phone or the long list of tasks waiting for me. It is about this breath, this heartbeat, this chance to try again. I take a moment to whisper a simple thank you, even if my eyes are still heavy with sleep. This small gesture of gratitude is like lighting a candle in the dark. It pushes back the shadows of doubt and fear, and fills my heart with warmth. I sit up slowly, letting the weight of the night slip off my shoulders. The cool air of the morning feels like a gentle embrace, a reminder that life itself is a gift. I stretch my arms above my head, feeling the quiet strength of my body, and I marvel at how it carries me forward every day, no matter how weary I may feel. My mind, still waking up, is clear and soft like a blank page, ready to be filled with thoughts and dreams. I choose not to start the day with noise. The world will roar soon enough, but for now I cherish the silence. In that silence, I can hear the small, steady beat of my own heart, and I can listen to the whispers of my soul. I do not need fancy words or complicated rituals. A moment of stillness is enough. I close my eyes and breathe deeply, feeling the rise and fall of my chest. Each breath is a promise that I am here, that I am alive, that today is mine to shape. I let my mind wander for a moment, imagining the day ahead. I picture it not as a race to be won, but as a path to be walked mindfully, step by step. I do not know what challenges will come, but I know I will meet them with grace, because I have started from a place of gratitude. I set an intention for the day, a simple phrase that will guide me when the world gets too loud. It might be something like be patient, or stay open, or find the joy. It does not matter what the words are. What matters is that they come from my heart and remind me of what is most important. I know that some mornings feel heavy, that the weight of yesterday can linger like a shadow. But even then, I try to find one thing, just one, to be thankful for. It might be the soft light of dawn, or the taste of water on my tongue, or the memory of someone's laughter. These small things are enough. They are the threads that weave hope into the fabric of my day. As I stand and begin my routine, I carry this gratitude with me like a quiet prayer. It shapes the way I move, the way I speak, the way I see the world. When I feel the urge to rush, I remind myself that every moment is precious, that there is no need to hurry through the beauty of now. When doubt creeps in, I return to that first breath, that first thank you, and I remember that I have already begun the day with something good. I pour myself a glass of water, and with every sip, I feel the life flowing through me. I wash my face with cool water, and in that simple act, I feel refreshed and renewed. I choose clothes that make me feel comfortable, not because of how they look to others, but because of how they make me feel inside. These small choices matter. They are the bricks that build the path I walk. Throughout the morning, I keep returning to that intention, like a gentle anchor that keeps me steady in the current of the day. It is not about perfection. It is about presence, about honoring this day as a chance to be a little kinder, a little braver, a little more alive than I was yesterday. Begin with a moment of stillness to connect with your inner self, because in the chaos of modern life, these quiet moments are where your soul truly breathes. Before the world demands your attention, before the noise of traffic and the ping of notifications flood your mind, there is a sacred pause, I let that pause stretch out like a gentle river winding through a sunlit valley. It does not take much, just a minute or two to close my eyes and let my thoughts settle like dust in a still room. This moment of stillness is not about emptying my mind. It is about listening to the quiet voice that lives within me. In this pause, I notice the gentle rhythm of my breathing, the soft rise and fall of my chest. Each breath feels like an invitation to be present, to come home to myself. My shoulders, often tight from carrying the weight of the world, begin to soften. My heart, which beats tirelessly every day, seems to slow its hurried pace. There is no pressure to perform or to prove anything in this moment. It is simply a space to be, to exist without judgment. Let my mind wander for a while, but not aimlessly. I let it drift to the corners of my dreams, the tender spaces where my hopes and fears whisper to one another. I do not push them away. I let them speak, even if their voices are trembling or unsure. In the stillness, I remember that I am more than my worries and more than my plans. I am a soul in motion, learning and unlearning, growing and healing. I sit up a little straighter and let the light of the morning brush my skin. I feel the warmth of the sun or the cool breath of a breeze, and I realize that this simple act of pausing is a gift I give myself. It is a small rebellion against the rush of the world, a reminder that I do not have to be anywhere but here in this breath, in this heart. The world will still be there when I am ready to face it, but for now, I honor this quiet space. As I sit in stillness, sometimes I will speak a few words to myself, like a gentle mantra, words like peace or strength or hope. These words are not magic spells, but they are powerful reminders. They help me remember that no matter what the day brings, I have an inner core of calm that no storm can shake. I let those words settle in my mind like seeds in fertile soil, trusting that they will grow and bloom in their own time. I know that this stillness is not always easy. My mind is a restless traveler, always seeking the next task, the next worry, but I gently guide it back to this moment, like a shepherd guiding sheep home. I remind myself that it is okay to be here, to breathe deeply and let the world wait for a while. This moment is mine alone, a space where I can lay down my burdens and rest in the quiet strength of simply being. As I open my eyes and begin to move, I do so with a sense of clarity. My thoughts are no longer tangled like threads in a knot. They are smooth and calm, flowing like water. The world outside may be loud and demanding, but I carry this quiet moment with me, a small sanctuary I can return to whenever I need it. It is a promise to myself that I will not be swept away by the rush of life, that I will always make time to listen to the wisdom that lives within. Approach work with a clear sense of purpose, because this is where your intentions shape the outcome of your day. As I sit down at my desk, I let my mind settle on what truly matters. I see the list of tasks waiting for me, each one a small piece of the larger puzzle I am trying to build. I do not let the sheer number overwhelm me. Instead, I look at them with the eyes of someone who knows that every small effort counts. That progress is not always loud, but it is always meaningful. I begin by taking a moment to remember why I am here. Work is not just about ticking boxes or chasing deadlines. It is about creating something that reflects who I am and what I value. I let this thought sink in because I know how easy it is to get lost in the noise of busyness. I remind myself that my work, no matter how small or simple it may seem, is a reflection of my own heart, my own dedication. I choose to start with the most important task, the one that speaks to me the loudest. I take a deep breath and dive in, letting the world outside fade for a while. My focus becomes a gentle shield protecting me from distractions and worries that would otherwise pull me away from what I am trying to build. I move steadily, not rushing, not dragging, but finding the steady rhythm that feels just right. There is a satisfaction in giving my full attention to something, in letting my mind and hands work in harmony. Even if the task is small, an email to be written, a report to be reviewed, I approach it with care, knowing that this is how I show respect for the work I do and for the people who will receive it. I let myself be present in every word I type, every number I check, every detail I polish. I take short breaks when I need them, not as an escape, but as a way to come back stronger. I step outside to feel the air on my skin, to watch the clouds move across the sky. These moments of pause are like stepping stones, giving me a chance to catch my breath and return to my desk with renewed clarity. I do not let guilt steal these breaks. I know they are part of the process, not a distraction from it. When challenges arise, and they always do, I do not let them shake my sense of purpose. I remind myself that every problem is an opportunity to learn, to grow, to refine my craft. I do not need to have all the answers right away. I just need to stay open to the process, to trust that with patience and effort, solutions will come. I do not measure my worth by how many things I can check off a list. I measure it by the intention I bring to each task, by the quiet pride I feel when I know I have done something well. I let go of the need for perfection because I know that it is not perfection that creates beauty, but sincerity and effort. I allow myself to learn, to stumble, to get back up and try again. As the day unfolds, I let this sense of purpose guide me like a compass. It keeps me steady when the noise of the world grows loud, when the demands of the day feel heavy on my shoulder. I return to the question that began it all. Why am I here? And in that question, I find the answer that shapes every moment, every task, every breath I take. It is not about the deadlines or the pressure or the expectation of others. It is about the quiet commitment to do my best, to honor the work that lies before me, and to let my own small efforts become part of something larger and more beautiful. End the day by letting go of what was not done, because holding on to it only weighs down your heart. As the sun begins its descent and the sky paints itself in soft pinks and golds, I let my thoughts settle into the quiet rhythm of the evening. The day has been long, full of tasks that were completed and others that remain, waiting for another dawn. I look at the list of what I wanted to achieve and I let out a gentle breath, acknowledging that I did what I could and that is enough. I know that it is so easy to carry the weight of unfinished things into the night, to let them sit in the corners of my mind, whispering that I should have done more. But I choose to let those whispers fade. I remind myself that I am not measured by the check marks on a list, nor by the rush to finish everything in a single day. I am measured by the intention I bring, the kindness I show to myself and to the world, and the quiet courage to keep trying, no matter how small the steps may feel. I take a moment to reflect, not with judgment but with compassion. I think of the things that did not get done, and I let them rest. They will wait for me, and tomorrow will come with its own light and its own time to try again. I do not have to carry them with me into my dream. I do not have to let them steal the peace of this evening. I pour myself a cup of tea or warm water, something that feels like comfort in my hands. I let it soothe the ache of the day, the tiredness that sits in my bones. I watch the steam rise and feel the warmth on my fingertips. A small reminder that even the smallest moments of care can be enough to ease a weary heart. I let my thoughts drift like the steam, gentle and light, untangling themselves from the knots of worry and expectation. As I move through my evening, I choose to do things that bring me quiet joy. Maybe it is reading a few pages of a book, or listening to music that feels like a soft blanket around my shoulder. Maybe it is simply sitting in the stillness, letting the world outside grow dim and soft while I rest in the quiet of my own space. These simple acts are not about productivity. They are about remembering that I am more than the work I do. I let my body relax, My shoulders drop from the tension of the day, my breath slow and deep. I remind myself that rest is not earned only by what I accomplish. Rest is a birthright, a gentle permission to be human, to be tender with myself in a world that often demands hardness. I let go of the idea that I have to earn rest, and instead I receive it as a gift, a blessing that comes with every sunset. Sometimes I will write down a few thoughts, a small reflection of the day, not to judge it but to honor it. The laughter I shared, the small victories, even the moments that felt heavy. Writing them down is a way of saying, I see you, I honor you, I am learning from you. And then I let the page close, knowing that it is enough to have witnessed these moments without needing to carry them any further. As the night deepens and the stars begin to blink awake, I let myself feel a gentle gratitude for the day that has passed. Even if it was not perfect, even if it was messy or uncertain, it was still a day of life, a day of being. I let that thought settle into my bones as I prepare for sleep, a quiet balm for the places that still feel restless. I know that tomorrow will bring new challenges and new beginnings, but tonight is for letting go, for resting in the soft embrace of what is and trusting that what will be will come in its own time. Honor your evening with a ritual of rest and reflection, because the quiet of the night holds a kind of wisdom that the day rarely offers. As the sun slips below the horizon and the world grows softer, I take a moment to pause and breathe deeply. I let the gentle darkness of the evening wrap around me like a warm blanket, a signal that it is time to slow down and come home to myself. There is no rush now, no hurry to do or to prove. There is only the gentle call to be still and to listen. I begin by turning down the lights, letting the glow of a lamp or a candle fill the room with a calm, golden hue. This small act feels like an invitation, a quiet reminder that the day is done and it is time to let my mind and body rest. I move slowly, letting each step feel deliberate and mindful, as if I am weaving a soft cocoon around my spirit. The rituals I choose for this time are not complicated or grand, but they are sacred because they are mine alone. I might play a piece of music that soothes me, its soft melodies filling the corners of the room and washing away the noise of the day. I let the notes settle over me like gentle waves, reminding me that there is beauty in these small, quiet moments. Or I might simply sit in the stillness, listening to the night sounds outside, the distant call of a bird, the rustle of leaves, the hush of the world winding down. I take this time to reflect, not to judge the day, but to honor it. I think of the moments that made me smile, the conversations that warmed my heart, the small victories that often go unnoticed. I think of the challenges too, the moments of doubt or frustration that taught me something about patience, about resilience. I let these reflections be soft and kind, not a tally of success or failure, but a gentle witnessing of a life in motion. Sometimes I will write these reflections down in a notebook, not because I need to remember them forever, but because the act of writing helps me make sense of them. It helps me see the threads that connect the hours of the day, the quiet wisdom that often hides in the spaces between the tasks. I let the pen move slowly across the page, each word a small act of gratitude, a way of saying to the universe, I am here, I am learning, I am growing. As I move closer to sleep, I take care to let go of the weight of the day. I might sip a warm drink, letting it soothe the tight places inside me, or I might simply sit and breathe, feeling the rise and fall of my chest, as a quiet reminder that rest is not only allowed, it is necessary. I do not rush this time, even if the world outside seems to be forever racing forward. I let myself sink into the softness of the evening, trusting that tomorrow will come soon enough. I end my evening with a simple act of kindness to myself, a gentle touch to my own heart that says, you did enough today, and you deserve this rest. It is not about earning it through productivity or proving it through exhaustion. It is about honoring the fact that I am human, that my body and mind need time to heal and to dream. This ritual of rest is a quiet promise to myself that I will meet the next day, not with tiredness but with a spirit that has been tended to with care. In these moments I feel a deep sense of peace settle into my bones, a soft knowing that life is not only about the doing, but also about the being. It is in the stillness of the night, in these small acts of rest and reflection, that I find the strength to rise again when the morning comes. Nourish your body with a healthy, mindful breakfast, because it is the first act of self-love you offer to yourself each day. As the morning light pours through the windows, the kitchen becomes a sacred space. I move slowly, letting the hum of the kettle and the gentle clatter of dishes be the soundtrack of this small ritual. It is not about elaborate meals or fancy ingredients. It is about the intention behind each bite, the quiet promise that I will take care of myself today. I start by choosing foods that feel like a celebration of life itself. Fresh fruits that burst with sweetness, grains that carry the warmth of the earth, a drizzle of honey that tastes like summer days. Each ingredient is a gift, a reminder that nature offers us so much, and I am here to receive it with gratitude. I watch the steam rising from my tea or coffee, a small cloud of comfort that carries the scent of new beginnings. As I prepare my breakfast, I let it be an act of mindfulness. I notice the colors of the food, the textures, the gentle sizzle, as something cooks on the stove. These small details ground me, pulling me out of my racing thoughts and into the simple magic of the present. I do not rush this time, even if the day ahead is full. I understand that these few minutes of care can shape the way I approach everything else. I sit down to eat, and for a moment I let the world wait. I take a bite, tasting the layers of flavor that speak of sun and rain, of soil and hands that work to bring this food to me. I chew slowly, letting each bite remind me that nourishment is not just for the body but for the soul. There is a quiet reverence in this act, an understanding that my body is a vessel that carries me through life, and it deserves my respect. I know that in the rush of busy days, it is easy to skip this step, to grab something on the go and forget to really taste it. But I choose to honor this meal, to see it as a moment of grounding in a world that often feels unsteady. I sip my drink and feel the warmth spread through me, a gentle promise that I am cared for, even in the smallest ways. I remember that food is more than fuel. It is a language of love that my body understands. I think of the farmers who tended the fields, the cooks who perfected their recipes, the journey each piece of fruit took to find its way to my table. In this way I feel connected to something larger than myself, a web of life that stretches across seasons and continents. I am reminded that I am part of this world, not separate from it. As I eat, I let my mind rest. I do not let my worries crowd the space. Instead, I let my thoughts drift to the taste of ripe berries, the crispness of toast, the comfort of warm oatmeal. These simple things are enough. They are a testament to the fact that even in a world that asks so much of us, we can always find small ways to nurture ourselves. I finish my meal with a sense of quiet satisfaction, knowing that I have begun my day with an act of kindness towards myself. My body feels strong and ready, my mind a little clearer, my heart a little lighter. I clear my plate and wash the dishes, not as a chore, but as a way of saying thank you to this moment, this meal, this life. I carry the memory of this breakfast with me as I step into the day, a quiet assurance that no matter what happens, I have already chosen to honor myself in the simplest, most beautiful way possible. Smile often. It is your secret weapon in a world that sometimes forgets to be kind. A smile is such a simple gesture, yet it holds the power to change not only the course of your day, but also the mood of those around you. When I wake up, even if my eyes are still heavy with sleep and my mind is tangled with thoughts, I choose to let a smile dance on my lips. It might be faint at first, a quiet curve that grows into something warmer as the day unfolds. This small act is not about pretending that everything is perfect. It is about reminding myself that there is always something good to be found, even on the most ordinary of days. I let the smile guide me as I move through my morning routine. When I look in the mirror, I smile at the reflection of someone who has weathered storms and is still standing. Someone who is not perfect but is always growing. That smile is like a balm, a gentle touch that says, "You are enough, just as you are." I carry it with me as I pour my first cup of tea or coffee, feeling the warmth seep into my hands, and with it, a sense of quiet optimism that will carry me through the hours ahead. As I step out into the world, I offer the smile to others, even to strangers whose names I will never know. A smile to the person who hands me my morning coffee, to the neighbor I pass in the hallway, to the friend who needs a reminder that they are seen and valued. These small moments of shared humanity matter more than we often realize. In a world that can be so rushed and impersonal, a smile says, "I see you. I am here with you." I notice how a smile can soften the edges of a conversation, how it can turn a difficult moment into something more manageable. When the day grows long and the tasks feel endless, I find myself returning to this simple gesture, like a lighthouse guiding me through the fog. It is a small light, but it is enough to keep me steady, to remind me that even in the midst of busyness and stress, I have the power to choose how I show up in the world. I know there will be days when it feels harder to smile, when the weight of the world sits heavy on my shoulders and my heart feels tired. On those days, I remind myself that a smile does not have to be forced. It can be soft and gentle, a quiet acknowledgement that I am still here, still trying. It is not about pretending or masking what I feel. It is about finding a small piece of light in the darkness and letting it shine through, even if just for a moment. Sometimes, that smile begins as a choice, a conscious effort to lift my face and let the corners of my mouth turn upward. But soon enough, it becomes something more natural, a reflection of the simple joys that live in every day. The laughter of a loved one, the smell of fresh air, the warmth of the sun on my skin. These are the things that coax a real smile from my heart, and I let them in, one by one. I find that the more I practice smiling, the more it becomes a part of who I am. It is a reminder that joy does not have to be loud or extravagant. It can be found in the quiet moments, in the gentle gestures that remind me that life is still good, even on the days when it feels heavy. I let my smile be a thread that weaves through my day, connecting me to the world around me, to the people I meet, and most importantly, to the soft light that lives within my own heart. Take mindful breaks to reconnect with the present, because the world never stops moving, but you do not have to let it sweep you away. I know how easy it is to get caught in the constant motion, the to-do lists that never seem to end, the voices around you that all want something right now. But I also know that you are not a machine, and there is something deeply human and sacred about stepping away for a moment, to breathe and remember that you are alive, not just existing to tick boxes. I start by noticing the gentle signals my body sends, the tightness in my shoulders, the weight in my head that says, "It is time to pause." I listen to those signals because they are not weaknesses but wisdom. They are my body's way of saying, "Take a moment to remember what it feels like to be here." I step away from the screen, the paperwork, the noise, and I find a quiet place where I can just be. I let my feet carry me outside, if I can, to feel the earth beneath me and the air on my skin. I notice the way the leaves move in the breeze, the slow dance of clouds across the sky, the warmth of the sun or the soft touch of the rain. These small things, so easy to overlook, have a way of reminding me that there is a whole world beyond my tasks, a world that is patient and steady and full of wonder. I take a deep breath and let it fill my lungs, not rushing to the next thing, but letting this breath be a pause, a punctuation mark in the sentence of my day. I let my mind wander gently, not chasing every thought, but letting them float by like leaves on a river. I let myself be still, even if just for a minute or two, because these small breaks are like windows that open onto a quieter, softer place within me. Sometimes I will sip a cup of tea or water, feeling the warmth or the coolness in my hand. I'll let it be a small ritual, a way of saying to myself, you deserve this moment. It is not indulgence, it is sustenance for your spirit. In this act of pausing, I find that I can return to my work, not just with more energy, but with more clarity, as if the dust of worry and noise has settled and I can see the path ahead more clearly. I do not let the world's rush convince me that these breaks are a waste of time. They are where I gather strength, where I let my mind breathe. I notice how my thoughts slow down, how the tension in my shoulders softens, how my breath finds its own rhythm again. In these pauses, I am not defined by what I produce or how quickly I do it. I am defined by the quiet knowing that I am enough, even when I am just sitting, just breathing. I let these mindful breaks become a practice, woven into the fabric of my day. It might be stepping out into the garden for 5 minutes, or sitting in a quiet corner with my eyes closed. It does not have to be long or complicated. What matters is the intention, the choice to step back from the swirl of demands, and let myself remember that I am more than the sum of my tasks. When I return to my work, I carry this stillness with me like a soft light, a gentle anchor that keeps me steady in the current of the day. The world outside may keep spinning, but I have found a place of calm within myself, a place I can return to whenever I need to feel whole again. These mindful breaks are not a luxury. They are a lifeline, a quiet affirmation that even in the busiest of days, I can choose to pause, to breathe, to reconnect with the wonder of simply being alive.